Hi, I'm here to show you how to finish a whip. So as you can see in my hand here, I have my fishtail braid. Um, I have the blue strands on the right and the red strands coming off to the left. And you can do a couple more braids. And I'm going to start the top knot, the finishing knot, when the last strand that I went over goes off to the left, which is the red one here in front. So basically I'm going to reverse twist these two red strands, fold them back over, tie them up here, and then cinch them off and hold them in place with one of the other side strands, one of the blue strands. So let's go through that process. I'm going to reverse twist these two that are coming off to the left, the red strands. I do that by twisting one way and wrapping in the opposite direction that I twist. You can see it got a little wound up. That's okay as long as you make sure that it's snug in there. So I'm tightening up. All right, and working it back. And then I'm going to reverse twist close to 3 inches. Maybe a little less. I want to have enough that there's a sizable loop. Okay, so I'm going to stop here, and you can see I've reverse twisted this whole length, starting at the end of the braid, and the blue strands off to the right are at the end of the braid. I'm going to fold the twisted strand over so that the strands of the twist now fall on either side of the whip. So if you can see, there's the end of the twisted braid, there's the loop of the reverse twist, and I'm going to take these strands, see how one goes off to the right and the other goes off to the left, pointing back up toward the braid of the whip. I'm going to take the one that's on top, although I don't think it really matters, wrap it around and through itself to make a half hitch. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the other one, going over the first strand and through itself. I could go in from the top. I like the way from the tip of the whip. I could go in this way. I prefer to go in from the base of the whip. So see how the knot I just tied is lying there. I go over that and through. I tighten this one up. And then I snug and tighten up the first one. That brings them to the other strands, the blue strands. There's a little bit of play here. I could work that through, or actually that's play in my knot. Okay, so there, I've tightened up that knot, I've tightened up this knot, I've pulled them snug. So this is what holds it in place. And then one strand, I'm gonna pull out the one that's in back, one strand of the original, the blue that went off to the other side, goes around and goes through itself from bottom or top and anchors those other two knots in place, so that, as you can see now with this blue knot here in place, I pull and the other knots I tied can't go past this one. So I tighten all that up. I tighten the anchor knot, then I tighten the two knots coming off the reverse twist, and then I have this loose strand that I didn't tie in a knot. So now all of these need to be cut about a 1/16 or an 1/18 of a centimeter, an 1/8 of a centimeter, or an 1/8 of an inch left over, and then frayed, and then a lighter taken to the fray, and then the scissors. Warning, make sure after you heated up the frayed nylon ends that you don't touch your fingers to the heated nylon, or you'll get a chemical burn, because the nylon is a chemical and it's an oil. So you take you snip the end, fray it, carefully take a lighter to it, and then use the head of the scissors, metal scissors, to roll out the melted nylon at each one of these snipped knots, snipped ends. And once you've trimmed and heated them and made them flat, then you can use this as a keeper knot. You slide the fall on. Let me show you how that works. So if I have my fall, which is like a loop, I slide the fall on to the reverse braid knot and thread it through, pull it all the way through, and then you can see that it's held on there. This is called a keeper knot when it's two loops, one inside the other. Okay, the other way to take it off is to roll it. You can roll it off, roll it on. So that is how to tie the top knot and add the keeper. All right, I'm Davey Repka, signing off. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye.